strategic thinking help internal organization development consultants in effective organizational change and culture building for their organization's competitive advantage. I'm Akin. I like talking about making organizations fit for purpose and fit for the future. In this two-part video series, I offer advice on strategic thinking to internal consultants, specifically focusing on how internal OD consultants could use strategic thinking in effective organizational change and high performance culture building for their organization's competitive advantage. This is the second of the two-part video series. In the first video, I addressed the following two questions. 1. What is strategic thinking and why is it important for internal OD consultants? 2. Why is having an effective strategic outlook a critical first step towards developing strategic thinking by internal consultants? In today's video, I will be addressing the following two questions. 1. How could you position your team for strategic relevance and impact in your organization? 2. How could you use effective strategic collaboration and strategic communication for sustainable OD towards your organization's competitive advantage? How could you position your team for strategic relevance and impact? Peter Drucker was reputed to have said, "Culture eats strategy for breakfast." This may be true for a bad strategy or a poorly implemented strategy. Proper strategy culture fit would promote the attainment of your organization's vision, mission, goals, and strategies. As an internal OD consultant, you could and should contribute to this by how you position your team and how you help facilitate effective culture strategy nexus in the organization. Fundamentally, strategic thinking, strategic alignment, strategic collaboration, and strategic communication should be driving the priorities and activities of your team, and you should be helping your team members avoid operating like silos, cut off from the mainstream of the organization, because this will result in insularity, and insularity is an enemy of sustainable OD value creation and OD value added. Get your team members fully informed on and linked with what other stakeholders, business units, and departments are trying to achieve. Help them fully understand how their roles and responsibilities fit in with the rest of the organization. What other stakeholders, business units, and departments are doing regarding achieving the overarching and shared vision, mission, and strategies of the organization. Choose to be proactive and strategic in your approaches and processes. And this will involve engaging your team in ongoing strategic dialogue about the business concerns, aspirations, vision, mission, goals, strategies, and direction of the organization. Work with your team to generate new insights and deliver OD value that would make the organization not only fit for purpose, but also fit for the future. To effectively manage change and transform its culture and organizational systems for desired outcomes and results. Furthermore, own strategic thinking in the culture of your team. For example, help your team learn to handle issues and challenges by creating what-if scenarios and undertaking if-then analysis. Say, for example, if these 1, 2, and 3 things were to get worse for our unit, what would be our best course of action? Or if the critical staffing problem B facing the XY department were resolved, what next steps would we advise to promote effective teamwork in the department? Form the habit of asking a series of questions on all the value creation issues from multiple points of view, representing various categories of stakeholders, units, and levels in the organization. For example, general management, procurement, finance, sales, and marketing. Get in the habit of assessing all the value-added initiatives and proposals in relation to what matters most to the organization, involving, for example, how to create competitive advantage and achieve breakthrough performance, incorporating the perspectives and input of internal and external collaborators. Keep your team primed on collecting accurate and reliable data and real perceptions from relevant stakeholders before initiating proposition that has strategic importance. Focus your team's thinking on change and all the value creation and initiatives that help your organization serve its customers in new ways and exploit its strengths to take advantage of opportunities in the external environment while gaining superiority over the competition in its industry and market. Help your team be in the habit of assessing and reassessing your OD value creation role with shifts in the organization's environment and strategic direction. Set aside time and resources for regular strategy meetings and deliberations with your team, during which you explore various inputs and viewpoints, penetrating questions, possibilities, disagreements, new ideas, better ways of approaching your work, innovations, and proposals, and invite relevant stakeholders and collaborators to make presentations and participate in your deliberations. During such deliberations, resist the temptation to be judgmental, aggressive, or defensive, withholding evaluation of any idea or proposal until it has been well thought through and fully explored in all its ramifications. Doing such things as the foregoing would help position you to strategically engage with all relevant parts of the organization and potential sponsors and collaborators, and harness the organization's best ideas and resources for achieving transformational change, culture, and performance, and sustaining competitive superiority while helping make the organization fit for the future. How could you use strategic collaboration and strategic communication for effective OD value creation and OD value added in your organization? Strategic alignment is crucial for effective organizational change and development. The internal OD role should be strategically aligned in mission, goals, objectives, and plans with the organization's vision, mission, and strategic direction. Initiatives in internal organizational change and development should be addressing what really matters to the business of the organization, what matters most for the organization's competitive edge and for being fit for the future. Take a holistic view of organizational change, development, and transformation issues. Think about and consider the entire organizational systems regarding what are most important to the organization. How what happens in various departments and units would affect the attainment of the organization's vision, mission, and strategies. Explore and conceptualize how strategic collaboration and strategic communication would be best positioned and done, emphasizing where the whole organization is heading and what strategic results and outcomes they desire and how to move together in the same direction. Let's talk briefly about strategic collaboration. Consistently and obsessively look for opportunities to collaborate with others, internally and externally, to create and implement new insights and values that would advance your organization's profitability and transformational change and performance. seek to collaborate with key stakeholders in the organization to share business, strategic, and competitive ideas that would help you better serve the organization for its desired outcomes. In your meetings with potential collaborators, think about what really drives them. Focus more on what they are trying to achieve, that is, on their agenda, rather than on yours. For example, in your first meeting, ask them, what are the key challenges you are facing that we could talk about, that we could explore solutions on, and collaborate to address? Then, take the time to explore these challenges with them and agree to return with proposals that could help to effectively resolve them, taking advantage of opportunities and value creation that could position the organization to sustain competitive superiority. Let's talk briefly on strategic communication. Research in business strategy and management shows that failure to effectively communicate strategically is a key reason why organizational and change initiatives fail. It is therefore imperative that you communicate effectively and broadly within the organization. The organizational and change initiatives that underpin how the organization competes in its industry and market, how they relate to what matters most to the organization, and strategic results. But you will not be able to do this effectively unless you are fully tuned to what matters to key stakeholders and collaborators, and being able to understand and speak the language of business is crucial. However, you should not just rely on the planning department of the organization for this. You would get yourself well paced by being proactive and engaged on the strategic issues and similar ones I highlighted in the first of this two-part video series. In your communication, emphasize benefits and show short-term, medium-term, and longer-term desired outcomes and results. Besides, integrate relevant feedback and inputs from stakeholders and collaborators across the organization in your communication, particularly in all the value proposition and reporting. In written and verbal communication, use simple and clear language that is easily understood and embraced by all relevant stakeholders, sponsors, and collaborators in the change and organization development process. What are the few points I hope you remember? These I call points for emphasis, PFE. 1. That strategic thinking, strategic alignment, strategic communication, and strategic collaboration permeate the priorities, activities, processes, and way of life of your team. 2. Consistently and obsessively seek to collaborate with key stakeholders in the organization to share business, strategic, and competitive ideas that will help you better serve the organization and facilitate transformational organizational culture change and performance that could create competitive superiority for the organization and make the organization fit for the future. 3. Be fully tuned to what matters to key stakeholders and collaborators, beginning with understanding and speaking the language of business, and being proactive and engaged on strategic issues. These would help you make the most of strategic communication. If you find this video useful, please like, share, and subscribe. See you soon. Before you go, if you find this video useful, please like, share, and subscribe. See you soon.